Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The English Habit. I'm Nina.
And I'm Jack. We're so excited to have you join us today for an episode that many of you have asked about. It's the ultimate goal for so many English learners.
That's right, Jack. Have you ever wondered why, even after years of studying English, you still translate in your head before you speak? Or why native speakers seem to just know what to say without thinking about grammar rules?
Yeah, it's that moment where you want to say something simple, but your brain first goes, okay, how do I say this in my language, then translate it word for word, and then remember the English grammar? It's exhausting.
Exactly. Today, we're diving deep into how to train your brain to think in English like a native. This isn't just about speaking better, it's about thinking better in English.
It's about creating direct connections in your brain, bypassing that slow translation process. This skill is a game changer for fluency, confidence, and truly feeling like an English speaker.
We know this sounds like a big challenge, but we promise by the end of this episode, you'll have practical, actionable steps you can start using today to retrain your brain and unlock a whole new level of fluency.
So if you're ready to make English feel more intuitive, less like a puzzle, grab your headphones and let's start rewiring your brain. Part 1. The problem. Why do we translate?
All right, Jack, let's first acknowledge the elephant in the room. Why do we, as English learners, fall into the habit of translating everything in our heads?
It's totally natural, Nina. Our native language is our comfort zone, our first language. It's the operating system our brain runs on. So when we learn a new language, our brain's default setting is to try and convert new information into what it already understands.
Right. So the first reason is comfort and habit. We've spent our entire lives thinking in our native tongue. It's the path of least resistance.
It's like driving a car you've known for years versus a brand new one. You just naturally go to what's familiar.
Second, fear of making mistakes. If you translate, you feel like you have more control, more time to construct a perfect sentence. But in reality, it slows you down.
Third, insufficient exposure and practice in English-only environments. If most of your interaction is still in your native language, your brain doesn't get enough reps to build those direct English pathways.
It's like trying to learn to swim by reading a book about it, but never getting in the water.
And finally, sometimes it's because of how we were taught. Many traditional methods focus heavily on grammar rules and translation exercises, inadvertently reinforcing the translation habit.
So, understanding why we translate is the first step to consciously breaking that habit. Part 2. The core principle. Immersion, even if you're not abroad. Okay, Jack, so if translation is the problem, what's the fundamental solution? Everyone says immersion, but what does that really mean for someone not living in an English-speaking country?
Great question, Nina. Immersion isn't just about geography. It's about creating an English bubble around yourself, wherever you are. Your brain needs to be surrounded by English constantly. First, change your phone, computer, and social media settings to English. This is super easy and provides constant, low-effort exposure to everyday English words and phrases.
Second, consume as much English media as possible. This means movies, TV shows, podcasts like ours, YouTube videos, music, books, all in English. Start with subtitles in English, then try without. Example, watch your favorite Netflix show again, but this time with English audio and English subtitles. Then try it with no subtitles.
Third, label objects in your home. Take sticky notes, write the English word for an item, for example, door, chair, fridge, and stick it on the item. Every time you see it, you connect the English word directly to the object.
This is fantastic for building foundational vocabulary without translating. You see the chair, you see the word chair.
Fourth, think in English about simple everyday things. When you're making coffee, doing laundry, or walking your dog, Describe what you're doing in your head in English. Don't speak out loud yet, just think. Example. Okay, I'm boiling water, the kettle is whistling, now I'm pouring the water into my cup.
This silent immersion is powerful. It forces your brain to process thoughts in English, creating new neural pathways. It's like exercise for your English brain. Quick pause here, English Habit listeners. If you're already feeling inspired to create your own English bubble, please hit that like button wherever you're listening. It really helps our podcast reach more learners.
And if you want more game-changing English learning strategies and to truly master thinking in English, make sure to subscribe to the English Habit and ring that notification bell. You won't want to miss our future episodes.
Now, let's talk about specific techniques to train your brain to think directly in English. Part 3. Specific brain training techniques.
All right, Nina, beyond general immersion, what are some targeted techniques to build those direct English pathways?
My favorite is the inner monologue technique. This is where you consciously narrate your day in your head in English. It's like having a constant, private English conversation with yourself. How to do it. When you wake up. I just woke up. I need coffee. What should I wear today? When you're walking. That's a nice tree. The car is red.
This is amazing because it's zero pressure and you can do it anywhere. No one knows you're practicing.
Exactly. Second, the image to word exercise. Instead of translating, look at an object or a picture and immediately think of its English name. Don't let your native language word pop up first. How to do it? See a dog? Think dog. See a tree? Think tree. If you don't know the word, look it up. Then visualize the object with the English word.
That helps build direct associations. Third, vocabulary and context strategy. When you learn new words, don't just learn the single word. Learn it in a phrase or a sentence that makes sense to you. Example, don't just learn delicious. Learn this cake is delicious. Or I had a delicious meal. The whole phrase gets stored together.
This is crucial. It's much easier to recall a chunk of language than individual words. Fourth, use English to English dictionaries. When you look up a new word, use an English dictionary that explains the word in English. This forces your brain to stay in English. Example, if you look up the word gregarious, the dictionary explains it as fond of company, sociable. This deepens your understanding in English.
And fifth, practice paraphrasing. When you hear or read something in English, try to rephrase it in your own words, still in English. This forces your brain to process the meaning, not just the words. Example, someone says, the new policy caused a significant downturn in sales. You rephrase it internally, so the company's sales went down because of the new rules.
These techniques, when done consistently, will start to build those strong, direct pathways in your brain, bypassing the need for translation. Part 4. Gradual Application. From thinking to speaking.
So we're thinking in English internally. How do we transition that into actual speaking, Nina? Especially if we're still a bit shy.
This is where you gradually bring that internal thinking out into the world. First, start with short, simple responses. Don't try to construct complex sentences right away. Just respond with a few words or a phrase. Example, instead of a full explanation, just say, yes, please, or sounds good.
Second, use filler words to buy time. Native speakers use these all the time. Well, like. They give your brain a second to catch up without awkward silence. Example. So, I was thinking, maybe we could try this approach.
Third, practice small talk scenarios repeatedly. Think about common conversations, ordering food, introducing yourself, talking about the weather. Practice these mentally, then try them in real life. Example, before going to the coffee shop, mentally rehearse. Hi, can I get a latte, please? Thanks.
Fourth, don't be afraid of silence or asking for clarification. It's okay to pause or to say, sorry, could you repeat that? It's part of natural communication, not a sign of failure. Example, that's an interesting point. Could you explain what you mean by synergy?
And fifth, focus on your message, not your mistakes. If someone understands what you mean, that's a win. The more you communicate successfully, the more confidence you'll build, and the less your brain will rely on translation.
It's a journey, not a destination. Every time you push yourself, even slightly, you're rewiring your brain. Part 5. Long-term mindset for native-like thinking.
All right, Jack, for the long game, what's the ultimate mindset to sustain this brain training?
It's about developing an English-first mindset. Make English your default whenever possible. If you can do something in English, do it.
So if you're writing a grocery list, write it in English. If you're planning your day, think about it in English.
Exactly. Second, be patient and kind to yourself. This is a gradual process. You won't wake up tomorrow and suddenly never translate. Celebrate small improvements.
It's like building a muscle. You don't get strong overnight, but consistent effort pays off.
Third, seek out more authentic English. Listen to native speakers' casual conversations, watch reality TV, read informal blogs. This exposes you to how people really think and speak. Example, instead of just formal news, try listening to talk shows or YouTube vloggers.
And finally, embrace the process as an adventure. Learning to think in another language is a superpower. It changes how you see the world. Enjoy the journey of discovery.
By applying these strategies consistently, you'll start to notice moments where you just know the English word or a sentence forms automatically in your head. That's your brain rewiring. That's the moment the barrier breaks.
All right, let's wrap this up. Today, we've explored the fascinating journey of training your brain to think in English like a native. It's about consistent immersion, targeted mental exercises, and a huge dose of self-patience and self-compassion.
Now we're curious. What's one new strategy from today's episode that you're excited to try to train your brain to think in English? Or what's a small win you've already had where you thought directly in English? Drop your answers in the comments below. We love hearing from you.
If this episode gave you that aha moment and motivated you to start rewiring your brain, please smash that like button wherever you're listening, subscribe to The English Habit for more game-changing content, and ring that notification bell.
Thanks for listening, and remember, the power to think in English is already within you. You just need to unlock it.
See you in the next one. Bye!